Hello, this is the clutch house. Inside the clutch house you've got a big bearing that I've just replaced, a little bearing that I'm just going to replace here. Give that a little tap down. That's lovely. Then this part goes in. Before I put that on, I'm going to clean this. I'm going to remove those 4 bolts, and then I'm going to put this in my lathe to get all the marks out, because the bearing sits here and the bearing sits there. Then I shall clean that surface up, put it in here, and then I've got these two to go in after I've done all that. And then, whoops, the yoke goes on first. And then I'll test it that the bearings are running nicely. But first of all, I'll take this off, stick it in my lathe, clean these surfaces up so they're beautiful, and then reassemble it. I've never ever changed this little needle bearing. I've never ever had to in one of these jobs, and I've done hundreds of them. Alfaman, in their wisdom, when the clutch went, told you to buy a whole new balanced unit, which was way too expensive, and all you really had to do is just put the 2 clutch house bearings in, and that was good enough, and I never ever had a comeback. So I'm just going to assemble this up, then I can put it aside, and then the next little video I'll show you the gears, which are all here. Those are the gears. I've stripped the plates off. I'll be turning the synchro rings around and showing you in more detail what I'm doing there. But I just want to get rid of some of these parts that are lying around the workshop. So I'll speak to you soon another time. Taking the shaft off, I've mounted it in the lathe. You can see how black that is here, and it's not very nice here. So I'm just going to spin it up, clean it, and then I can reassemble it into the car. And now you can see these surfaces here are lovely. So when I slot that back in to the 2 bearings, they'll go in beautifully. I'll give this a little clean up with the wire brush, and then I can assemble that up, and then I can put my new clutch in and move those parts out of the way. Speak to you later. Hello again. Working on this Alfetta gearbox. Same gearbox in principle as the 2.5 litre, the 16, the 18, the 2 litre, fitting the Alfetta GTV, the GTV 6, the 75, and the 166 manual. So the gearboxes are basically all the same. They've got this assembly, and what I've done is I've assembled a new clutch to it. I've replaced these 2 clutch house bearings. I've cleaned the shaft up on the lathe, and now when I spin it, I can't hear any, so that's perfect. So I'm going to be working on these gears next, and I'm just going to tidy this area up. Before I do that, I need to change the synchro rings around, find some decent second-hand or new outer synchro rings, find some decent second-hand or new inner synchro rings. Then I'll be assembling the gears up, and I'll show you how we do that, and I'll show you the damaged dog teeth, which is quite interesting because you can swap them around if you've got enough old second-hand 5th and 4th and 3rd gears. So I'll speak to you in a minute.